Before we begin this waifu top 10, let's just set a few ground rules. As per usual, I'd like to preface this list by stating the plain and utter fact that all of these characters are fictional and therefore don't need to be protected by uncompromising Western standards. They're not real and thus have no age or physical form. This list takes into consideration their designs and personality as depicted in the games and anime. It should also be noted that I'll be using wikis for the most part because I've not watched the Pokemon anime seriously for years. Lastly, and I'll make this quite clear, this is my list and thus may not align with yours. If you do not agree with my choices or the order in which I've ranked them, then you can feel free to voice your wrong opinions in the comment section below. As the husband of dreams, I am of course the clear authority on waifus, but that does not mean that I am not also open to learning about how wrong you are in your waifu choices. So with that out of the way, let's begin. Number 10. Serena. Serena was a last minute entry to this list because I didn't initially like her design, but after seeing her top tier waifu capabilities in the anime, it was impossible to leave her out. This modest, kind-hearted waifu with a bit of a rebellious side disobeyed her own mom to pursue her dreams. Instant win in my book. I've never really had a strong affinity to the goody two-shoes type. To be a saint and still turn this husbando's head would require a waifu with a lot more physical appeal than what she's working with. This is especially true when considering her initial design with the long hair. That whole look with the hat made her look too chibi for my liking, but after her shift in personality over her journey with her husbando, she shows a much more mature side and even goes in for some lip action. This ability to show growth and a steadfast nature in her desire for her husbando of choice is a great boost to her and is also the primary reason she made it into this top 10. Seeing her design now in Pokemon Journeys confirms her appeal with that black turtleneck mini skirt, thigh-high socks, knee-high boots, and that short nice cut hairstyle. She's elegant and this design shows it. No, the hat isn't canon for me. We pretend that thing just doesn't exist. Number 9. Sabrina. As mentioned with the previous entry, having a bit of a rebellious side is always a plus, and Sabrina is the definition of what we would consider a bad girl. Initially introduced as having a cold, childish side, borderlining on abusive thanks to her split personality, Sabrina was later able to show a kinda more mature side thanks in part to her friendship with Hunter. Not much else is known about this psychic femme fatale in the anime depiction of Pokemon, but in the manga Pokemon Adventures, we see a more villainous side to her character. This vision of her as a leader in Team Rocket, serving under Giovanni. During her manga escapade, she's portrayed both hindering and assisting the protagonist, but never really seeming to show much romantical interest in anyone. As such, I've placed her in 9th because it's not likely that she'll be keen to be waifued, and with those psychic powers of hers, she'll likely hurt you if she's not interested. Sabrina is both alluring and dangerous at the same time, no matter which depiction of her you consider. Were it not for her split personality and lack of romantical interest, she'd climb further up the list just on her looks alone. Taking into consideration her depiction in Pokemon Yellow chapter of the manga alone, she'd easily break into the top 5 of any Pokemon waifu tier list. But, alas, she's too dangerous to go any higher than 9th. Number 8. Professor Ivy. There's just something about a mature woman that can't be beaten. It's that allure, the idea that she knows things, that experience. Add to that is the casual mystery stare that the Orange League professor exudes. Then there's that confidence, that brazen disregard for anything but her research. How can we not love a woman with such strong focus on her goals? Professor Ivy could have been high on this list, but we're not sure what she did to Brock that results in him curling up into a ball at the mere mention of her name. If he just couldn't keep up with her grown womanly desires, then she easily moves up 6 places into 2nd. If not, she just doesn't have any interest in his husbandly approach and prefers her research over romance, and so earns her spot in 8. Number 7. Malva. Yes, it's taken some time, but we finally arrive at the first serious entry in this top 10 of dreams. Malva is this slightly tanned pink-haired news reporter sporting matching shades and a highly appealing design. She wears a black turtleneck that cuts off at the navel and red and black jeans with several diamond shapes cut out in the front, revealing some parts of her leg. All this along with her black high heel shoes. Everything about her look screams danger, but in a good way. As a trainer, she's very aggressive, focusing primarily on offense. She's ruthless and seems to respond well to powerful leader type characters, even going so far as to serve as a member of Team Flare and supposedly husbanding Lysander, its leader. In the anime, she's depicted as having a more sentimental side, as she severs ties with him to join the protagonist after witnessing their resolve in protecting each other from his plans. Similar to most of the previous entries, she's got that bad girl appeal, along with an aggressive personality, mature looks, and of course, a greater potential of romantical interest. As such, this pink hair waifu sits in a solid position among the top 10 waifus of the series, and personally, I'd like to see more of her in the future. Number 6, Clara. Clara is next, and she's the first thick old waifu to join the top 10. Slim thick to be precise. Disregarding this former pop star's personality, she'd make the top 5 off of looks alone, but sadly, this waifu is all looks with very little substance. Ignoring that ridiculous fur coat and her caked up makeup, and you have a waifu of dreams contender. Thigh-high socks, booty shorts, and that ditzy demeanor is also alluring. Sadly, she's one of those cutesy types who needs attention to survive. She craves it so much that she hatched a plan to become a gym leader in a misguided attempt for fame, then give up after 2 days of attempts. She later tried the Master Dojo for the same reason, but then cheated when the competition got real. Suffice to say, she's not got the best character, and even her Pokemon choices reflect that. She's a toxic person who reflects her nature in the toxic poison type Pokemon she uses. Overall, she's not usually what I'd go for, but somehow her overall looks just work. If ever she'd fix that personality and take it a bit easier on the makeup, she'd rank higher. Number 5, Wiki. Now I know I just stated that Clara was the first thick old waifu to join the list, but in all actuality she's not that thick as most of her bulk is made up by that fluffy coat of hers. Wiki on the other hand is actually thick, in every sense of the word. This scientist mummy of dreams easily made it into my top 5 just on her depiction alone. First are her glasses, and as we all know, glasses are cute. Add to that is her thickness. She boasts a nice mature figure that only top tier husbandos and waifus can appreciate. Accompanied by that sugar window she's slain with that dazzling turtleneck, Wiki is everything right about the newer Pokemon games, and I hope to see more like her. The only reason she doesn't rank higher is because there's not much we know about her other than her job and her being motherly to Lily. That being said, I'm sure this waifu has much more to offer this series if the writers would let her. In at number 4, we have Skylar. Skylar is a bubbly, outgoing type of trainer who enjoys good battles and meeting others. She can come off as a little airheaded, though even in a close defeat, she still remains optimistic. Her upbeat nature means that she's always a fun time to be around and would make for a great companion if you could tear her away from her flying and gym duties. Her overwhelming confidence could also mean she's up for almost anything, and her being an all-out offensive type would definitely mean she's the one chasing you. Skylar's also got that slim thick thing going for her, as well as those thick old thighs, top shiggle, and them pelipper wings that she calls hands. In essence, any husbando would be lucky to land Skylar's fancy. Her looks and the personality are both top notch. Here's hoping we continue to see more of her in the franchise in the future. Number 3, Nessa. Honestly, I don't think this silk chocolate complexion waifu of dreams needs an introduction. Nessa is exactly the image that comes to mind when reading the Urban Dictionary meaning of the word baddie. A very beautiful female who can hold her own and take care of herself. I.e., damn, she a baddie and don't take shit from nobody. As a model, Nessa is calm, composed, and carries herself in an elegant fashion. Her stunning blue eyes and two-toned blue hair fits perfectly with that beautiful, silky, smooth, chocolatey complexion of hers. Nessa's whole aesthetic screams bombshell water trainer, and she's exactly that. She's not just a pretty face, but also quite the competitor. In the anime, she made it quite clear that she wants to not only be a top model, but also a top trainer. She'll settle for nothing but the best, and I'm sure she'll expect that from you too. Side note, she's got a terrible win-loss ratio though. Number 2, Misty. The original Pokemon waifu of dreams, the soon-to-be aspiring trainer, Misty captured most of our hearts in the original Pokemon anime series, and she's never let go of them. Along with Brock and Ash, she was one of the main characters for a few seasons, and in that time, we truly got to know her and her Pokemon. At the beginning, she suffered from a sort of younger sister complex due to her having 3 beautiful older sisters. Luckily, however, this inferiority complex slowly faded as the series progressed, to the point where she took up the mantle of gym leader from her sisters. As a gym leader, Misty's confidence and maturity has greatly evolved. That being said, her character design has not had the same fortune. Kid me loved the original design and waifu the hell out of her, but adult me can't say the same. My logic in placing her this high on the list is based on her nostalgia factor, tsundere demeanor, and her much more adult portrayal in Pokemon Origins, and her fan art. Considering the logic that she's been on many adventures with Ash, and the amount of time it would have taken to complete said adventures, she's easily in her mid-30s in my headcanon. And with her fan art and cosplay like this, can you blame her, brother? Now, usually at about this point in time, people usually put in honorable mentions, but we shan't be doing that here. We are going in for number 1, Melanie. And then there was number 1. The one and only Melanie from Pokemon Sword and Shield. This curvaceous ice queen sports fair skin, blue eyes, and lightly painted fingernails. Not much is known about her outside of the games, but what we have so far is enough to place her above every other Pokemon waifu out there. Looking at her outfit alone, we can surmise that she's from the Russian/Eastern European equivalent of the Pokemon world. She sports a large wool hat, long boots, a puffy scarf, grey tights, shorts which leave very little to the imagination, and a luxurious turtleneck sweater. All of this hugging her splendiferous curves in a way that no other Pokemon waifu could. And as you all know, the good book of Husbando states, thick ties save lives. And Lord have mercy, she got some thick old thighs. Melanie trains in a strict way, analogous of the Spartan method, and it's speculated that her battle style is influenced by a bicker she had with her son Gordy. A Spartan mommy with a calm, reserved demeanor is how I describe her. Some may say that her only flaw is that she doesn't take losing well, but I just think she needs a cuddle. Now repeat after me, for all those in the back to hear. Thick thighs save lives. Melanie's number 1 Pokemon waifu, and I will fight you on that. Anywho, thank you very much for watching this edition to our waifu tier list of dreams. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more like it, make sure to hit the like button and make sure to subscribe to this and all of our other channels, along with hitting that annoying bell icon so that you don't miss out on any of our updates. If you'd like to go even further in supporting the work that we do here, you can donate to our Patreons, sub to us on Twitch, use our Amazon affiliate links, and share our content. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.